Well, everyone, as I love to have unexpected surprises, this is certainly a happy unexpected surprise. Now, after being not available for about a year and a half, because, when these first released, they disappear within about 6 months of being on the shelves in Australian ABC shops, which is where I buy all my character building stuff. I missed out on getting it then because I was like, I don't really know if I want it, and then I was like, oh my god, I want this, why didn't I buy it back then? Well, turns out that January this year they started restocking it, even 2 years after it's been produced. So for, as you can see here, $30 Australian, I purchased today the Doctor Who Dalek Progenitor mini room set by Character Building, with 118 pieces. So, I thought it was just interesting to show you how these have come back, which is good considering the fact that, Character Building's 2 releases last year in the Doctor Who line, apart from the 50th anniversary minifigures, never came to Australia. Rude! And the TARDIS set and the new character building expansion packs didn't come out at all, as far as I can tell. So let's hope they're coming this year, character building, because I was really, really excited, and then you let me down big time. Looks like it'll be to eBay. Anyway, this is your typical standard Wave 1 character building box. There's not much to say here, except that I think it's very, very, very naughty of character building to include the Doctor on here, where if we look at the fine print, where is it? Here it is. 11th Doctor microfigure not included. Excuse me, what? He's on the box. You can't do this. That's pretty much illegal. That's like having a carton of milk on the front and then being like, this is an empty bottle filled with water, but no milk contained. You cannot have a set with the Doctor standing there if there's no Doctor. They did the same thing with the Weeping Angel set, I believe, which had the Doctor and Amy in it, and then said does not contain Amy or the Doctor. Don't include them in the set if you're not going to include them. How hard would it have been for them to put a Doctor in here? They put a Doctor and Amy in the TARDIS set. That would be like having Doctor and Amy in the TARDIS set without Amy. So apart from that slight little problem, thankfully it does actually tell you on the box, which is nice. And there's also mention of one figure included. But anyway, let's get to a speed build, shall we? I like speed builds. Do you like speed builds? Everyone loves speed builds. Let's go! So here it is, the finally complete Dalek Progenitor Room mini set. Now, it does actually look quite nice. It is quite a nice looking set. I think that they've done quite well in, if I get it out of the way, capturing the look of these kind of column pieces with the way they've done, as you saw in the build, parts off of it. You can see that they've got the short black pieces of the 2 studs long and then a 3 stud long one to make it kind of look like it's almost suspended in midair, and I think that's a really cool kind of look, and I think that this little part here is very nice. I also like these little control panel things. I think they're quite cool and quite nice and add a nice addition to the set. However, I just feel that for what you pay for $30, this clearly is not $30 worth of set. It's really not a lot of set, and it's probably slightly more than you might get from a Star Wars Lego set, which are also outrageously expensive because of the licensing things. But I feel like it doesn't have as much playability as a Star Wars set would have. You don't get a spaceship and some bad guys and some good guys. You just get this and a single Dalek. So I think for this set to be really worth it, it really needs to have either another Dalek, I think, having like an exclusive Dalek like the yellow one, which still hasn't been released in Australia yet. Sorry, I just contain my rage. Or having the Doctor in there, I'm thinking, you know, like an exclusive print Doctor or something, would have made this just a little bit more interesting, because then you would have been like, oh, the Daleks are coming, and you could replay that scene where the Doctor appears and he's like got the jelly donut, jammy dodger, whatever you want to call it, and then he's using it as a TARDIS self-destruct button, and then that would make it just a little bit more play value, where I think as it is, it really doesn't have a lot of play value, and although it looks nice, and, you know, I think it'll look really nice in Mark and Who, I really don't feel that it's really a very well-valued set, which is why I didn't buy it in the first place. I also think this part here, that hasn't been covered, like, I can see why they did that, because it kind of makes, you know, a big runway entrance to the Progenitor room, which is meant to be beyond here door. But I feel like that the Daleks wouldn't like to travel over here very well, and so what it does, it really limits the amount of play you can get from the set, because you've got this, like, almost not flawed section. So I think what would have been better would have been to have one colour here, like maybe a really dark grey here, and then have the light grey V, and then some dark grey again here, just to fill that out so that you get a full surface area and you can use the whole baseboard for play. But to be honest, overall, it's actually not a bad set, and it's quite sturdily constructed, it's quite simple, and so as part of the Dalek trilogy, as I call it, so that was the 3 original Dalek sets, so that was Dalek Spaceship, Dalek Factory, and this, I think it fits in nicely with the theme, it works quite well, and for people who are making stop-motion videos, I think it's really important that you can, you know, have this as your main control room, whether it's inside the spaceship or outside the spaceship, so that you've just got a little bit more variety of Dalek-esque locations to shoot in. So that would be my thoughts. Let me know what you think, if you've bought one of these sets or anything like that. And as always, thanks for watching. Comment, rate, subscribe, all that kind of stuff. And that's what we've got time for from TrainzXtreme.